Ah, just went to go put the kickstand down, and guess what? I didn't even put it down. What is up, my YouTube family? I hope everyone is doing good today. Thank you all for the recent subscribers. We are now at 30 subscribers. I can't believe it. Thank you guys so very much for all the love and support. I really appreciate it. It means the world to me. Please don't hit me. Thank you. Now, if you're new to the channel, my name is Brandon, aka B Dizzle, and I hope I get to earn your subscription today. Now, one thing I will say about this freaking DRZ, man, I'll tell you what, I hate this about this bike, and I can change it, but I shouldn't have to. But this thing has got such a small gas tank. I feel like I'm constantly filling it up with gas. I mean, it only costs a couple bucks, if that sometimes, but man, it gets really annoying actually, because every time I go out, either just for a nice little ride by myself or I take you guys along, guess what I gotta do? I gotta put some flippin' gas in it. So like I was saying, I feel like I constantly have to get gas with this flippin' bike. And I know it's not that big of a deal. I mean, right now it just cost me less than $2 to fill this up. It didn't even take a full gallon. But still, I just feel like, I don't know, I'm constantly like having to do it, I guess, you know, and it's not that big of a deal. I could just travel to a different gas station, you know, and I'm just nitpicking and being a little baby back. But just when I motovlog, I don't know where I'm gonna actually end up, so I like to get my tank as full as possible before I actually go, because in Oregon you're right on the outskirts of Portland, which obviously has gas pumps everywhere. But then if you go to the left and start going up towards the mountains, there's like no gas stations. And it's not that I would say it sucks on gas. It gets good gas mileage. Like I just did, I think the trip before I reset it, I'll have to look at the footage, but it said 57 miles when I started putting fuel in it. It didn't even take a gallon. So that last trip was probably 60, I don't know, 60 miles to the gallon, something like that. It's just the trade-offs when it comes to buying a supermoto. You have to kind of expect that you're getting fun, lightness, sport feeling, but yet you're sacrificing on fuel. You know, fuel's pretty heavy. On a lighter note, happier notes, that's the one thing that I do not like about this bike, is that it has a small gas tank. What is it here? Oh, it's just my hair because I can't get a haircut. And then yesterday I tried to go buy a friggin' hair trimmer cutter thingy, and I was just gonna let my girlfriend cut my hair because I can't go to the barbershop or whatever and get one, and they're all sold out. So everyone's got the same idea as me. For those of you who had DRZs, what are your little gripes about them? Leave them down below in the comments. I'd like to hear about it. You know, man, Oregon's so annoying. You get this nice beautiful section right there, and then over here, death. But yet the last 2 weeks was about 80 degrees. It was actually more than that. It was like 85 degrees or so the last 2 weeks. Can you guys hear that exhaust? Oh, it sounds so good. Sounds like a big bore freaking 4-stroke, dude. Man, this is such a good beginner bike for those who are just starting out riding. I mean, I don't want to say it takes everything it's got to give this bike to go up to 50 or up to some faster speeds, but I got to use every gear, all 5 gears, to get up to 50. If you're a beginner rider, this thing is great for you. The only problem is there's a cop behind me, and that it is a very tall bike. Second, third, fourth, fifth. In 5th gear by 40. Now, if you guys remember from my last video, I talked about how tall this bike was. So if you are thinking about buying one of these as your first motorcycle, just remember that it's a tall bike. You know, don't be flinging it over and thinking you're going to be able to touch, because Sometimes you won't be able to. It's pretty tall. That's why I gotta lean the bike sometimes. And good news, guys, it's starting to rain. Woo! That's okay. I still gotta make my videos, so I ain't afraid of the water. I take showers. I know what water's like. Ah! It's raining more and more. If you guys are in the Portland area, this restaurant right here called Mike's, dude, bomb burgers. Their bacon cheeseburger, some good stuff. You guys ever just ride to just ride? Like you don't have anywhere to go, you just want to ride, and you act really dumb sometimes. Thank you, Tanya. 22 years. You're welcome. Why don't we just go ahead and close the shop down? That's what your 22 years gave us, Tanya. One big ol' J to the K. The exhaust on this bike is sweet, buddy. Sweet. Supra. Just kidding. It's a BMW. Whenever I ride, I always get lost. I don't know how, but I've got this like main route in mind, you know? Like, hey, I'm gonna go over here. And then I usually get lost. So I don't know why I do that to myself, because then I get all panicky and fidgety, you know? And then this is Oregon for you. Look at this. Ah, man, this beautiful, and then behind us looks like death. I can't turn around and show you because obviously that won't work. Nice water. You know, last night I just rewatched the movie of National Lampoon's Adventures or whatever with Chevy Chase and whatnot. Dude, that is such a funny movie. They've got such bad luck, man. I tell you. At least the dad does. Get a little queef queef. Oh, little cooter booter. Hammer down. Call me doctor and save me from doing that. The funny part with that movie, I've always cracked up, but it's the one where they go like to Wally World and they're traveling through and everything. They just picked up their aunt and they're at this like rest stop and Rusty's walking the friggin' dog, and there's a part where his mom's like, Rusty, quit playing with the dog, but it screeds over to Rusty, and he's literally holding onto the tree for dear life because the dog is just like ripping his freaking ankles up and biting his leg and everything, growling, barking, and Rusty's just holding onto the tree as tight as he could. I die every time I see that. It's so freaking funny. She just quit playing with the dog. Like, what the fuck? Obviously, she ain't playing with the dog. Tesla, I thought you guys were quick, but what are you doing? Coming from the guy who wants to pass the Tesla and can barely pass the Tesla. All kinds of power mods you can do as well. I mean, this has all your basic, you know, airbox mod, your jet kit, full exhaust, but you could do cams and everything too. But I'm a little iffy on doing cams. I hear great things and it makes some real big power differences. But then I hear things where people are like, if you open the motor from Suzuki, you know, like they're the only ones that have touched it, and you now decide to put your little scrungly fingers in there, then you just ruin the whole reliability of Suzuki. So it's a toss-up for me. I don't know if I want to actually do some cams, but I hear it does give the bike quite a big pep up in power, so yeah, maybe I will, maybe I won't, probably won't, I don't really know. Should I do some more mods to this thing? I mean, the only things I know for sure I'm going to be doing is brake pads, rotors, all new brake hoses and lines and stuff. I keep meaning to order a you know, case covers, engine case covers, transmission case covers, but I keep forgetting and I'm just too lazy to figure it out. So usually what I'll do is wait till something happens and then I'll go, I should have ordered that. Oh dang, look at that guy. He looks bored out of his freaking mind. He literally looks like, oh man, if this freaking train was running, I'd jump right over these tracks and just end it for me. Alrighty everyone, I think that's going to conclude today's little vlog. I wasn't able to go to the river like we intended to, so that's what we get. So we're just going to head on home, I hope you guys enjoyed today's little video. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.